You should come in because the wind is really, really too bad in Valencia at the moment. Welcome to my home. So, if people recognize me from your videos, it's that I have been in a video before with my old van, my previous van, and that was a small Ford Transit where I couldn't stand. We could only sit, and look at us now. We can move. We can dance. We can do a lot of things. So this is my new home.
So tell us about this one.
Oh, the new home is a very old home, as you might see. It's an old-timer. It's officially an old-timer. It's 35 years old. Actually, this year, 36 years old. It's a Hymer, so it's a German brand, and built in 1990. So I'm getting right with 36, because my math is wrong. No, it's 36, isn't it? Yeah, 36 years old. Hymer. Yeah, there are kind of lots of Hymers. So this is a B544, if I'm not wrong, which means that the kitchen's at the back. You've got like a seating arrangement here, a seating arrangement there, yeah, and the bathroom over there. So that is the B544. Like I said, there's many of constellations, and throughout the years they kept on changing the layout of these vans. But there's also a very short one. It's only 5 meters 60. And what else do you want to know? Tell me.
Tell me why you decided to switch.
Oh, okay. So the reason why? Okay. So the van I had was a lovely van, and I still have it. I cannot part with it. I still have it, but it was small. It was 5 meter 20, I think. No, 5 meter round. Yeah, and it was like only 2 meter high. So like in total. So inside it was only 170. So I couldn't even stand. So spaces was definitely one of the key features that I wanted. And there are really, really lovely vans out there. But have you seen the prices recently? So I know what my bank account looks like. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, you have to look at an old model because they are affordable, and it's maybe not high tech, but it's affordable.
You bought in Germany?
I bought it in Germany, yeah. And I paid 16,000. I keep on saying that.
16,000.
16,000. That's what I paid. So a lot of people go like, oh my God, you've been robbed. You could get that much cheaper. And other people sort of say like, well, if that is what you wanted to pay for it, then that's the right price. So I don't know. That's what I still had in my bank account, is like 16,000 and a bit. You have to, well, okay, my logic is that does look in good condition. I mean, the previous owners, as you can see, I mean, they've already like painted everything white because this was all wood color. Unfortunately, the paint is coming off a bit, so you can start seeing the wood again. But they have really treated it nicely. They put a new boiler in. They changed the batteries. So
What is the mileage?
300. I bought it at 300,000, and I'm already now at 315,000. So I've already cruised 15,000 in 6 months.
300,000.
Yeah, I know. That's a lot, isn't it? I know nothing about cars, but they keep on telling me this is built on a Fiat Ducato engine. I know nothing, but people keep on saying you cannot break those. So 300,000, 500,000, they will run if you treat them well. So if you keep on maintaining them well, if you do the oil changes regularly or more than regularly, then that should, keep running.
What is the height here? I think around like 190 maybe.
Oh, okay. I never really thought about that
because
I'm 170, so that's going to be
like
another 20 centimeters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I can just stretch my arms. I could never do that in my van. You know? So I could actually sleep like that way, which I will point out later on the bed, maybe. Because as I pointed out, there are. Okay, I'm single. I'm on my own. I'm a solo traveler, and I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seating possibilities. And the weird thing is, after now, living in it for 6 months, this is the only one that I do. So like these 8 different ones I never use. I have them, but I never use them.
You
But
have
this is
space,
my
so-
this is my comfortable corner, and this is where I sit on my computer, on my phone. I don't use the rest.
Do you,
But
have,
yeah.
do you have any table? Do you use how normally you eat in? Like where do you eat?
Well,
Like
there was a huge table here, and to be honest, I
You
still have it, but
You're not
it was
using
always in the way, because then you really have to sort of like squeeze underneath it.
Yeah.
So I built this myself. Yay! I'm such a bad DIYer, but I built this because I thought like I need something to just put like my coffee on and all that.
Okay.
So if I want to really work like full time or
you put
longer,
another one, yeah.
I put the bigger table on there.
Okay. Can you
Which-
show like around what is?
Okay, well, let's start with the living area. Like I said, nine pieces. There's some storage underneath this seat, and there's I think it's a 60-liter water tank underneath this seat, which I still haven't used. So I have not been at a campsite where I can just put like a hose in there. So I don't know. It's there. It works. The previous owner told me anyway. But I've never filled it up, so I still buy my water at the supermarket, and so 60 water, but it is there. Maybe it's 100-liter, but I think it was 60.
Well, how you can use it? Like normally this
It's
one you can use for what?
well, it's maybe more for showering and for doing the dishes more than drinking water.
From here, right? From
Yes,
like,
yeah,
for
yeah.
kitchen.
So I
Okay.
have like 2 sinks and a shower.
Okay.
Since I don't have water, I can't use either of them. So yeah, that'll be one day I will do that. I've already bought the powder to clean the tank, because I mean after so many years and months or whatever of non-use, it's worth cleaning the tank and the pipes leading to the taps. But yeah, like I said, I haven't been on a campsite yet, so where I can just bang in 60 liters of water. So no. So
Okay, got it.
that's on my
So there's
my
this-
list of things to do.
There's a storage. Here's the water tanks.
So
Then
that's storage, water tank. This is more storage.
more
One
storage.
day this will be the area where all the extra batteries will be, because you need power, and I don't.
You
really
want to
have
put
power.
like installing solar panels?
Well,
You don't
believe
have
it or
right
not,
now.
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna draw the curtain here. But so I have a new solar panel ready to go. But
Okay.
since the last 2 months that we've been on the road, and you've noticed this as well, it's been so windy. I cannot install it on the roof, because it'll just. I mean, no, once it's glued on or fixed, it'll be safe. But even the work on the roof, I can't do, because every time there's wind gushes, and then I can't put it on there basically.
So-
That's annoying, true. But I think you filmed outside that you see that I have like a foldable solar panel, and I put it in the windscreen, and that's how I now charge my smaller batteries, because
This
it
one
doesn't
in
look
front.
nice, of course, but at least I'm charging my
You
batteries.
charge it now.
Yeah. But that is like, I can show you, this is like EcoFlow. I'm sure people have seen these. This is a little one.
It's from
And
the old
now
one.
at 3%. So,
3%.
I probably need the rest of the day before this one is full.
Okay.
But yeah, there you go.
This one 256, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's a 256. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
56.
I think max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full max.
Yeah. Although that's so old now that it doesn't really. I mean, it is a lithium battery, but it's so old now. It's like 4 years old. It doesn't charge fully anymore, but it still does the trick for my mobile phone and for like the lights, because I use a lot of lights which are, you charge on battery or
Okay.
on solar. Okay,
what-
so
what
so
do
back
we
to
have?
the living room area. So this is more storage, because although it's very big, and people keep on saying like how much storage space there isn't really that much, because these cabinets, for instance, are very, very small. So there's not much that you can put in there, although they're there. But it's like, So I have my electronics cabinet with all the stuff, my gym wear and underwear, more junk. T-shirts and towels. These are, what is that? This is one you don't know. You get that. And this is, more. Yeah, I've got a lot of junk, unfortunately. So, yeah.
And here you have more.
And this is the kitchen. Yeah, but
kitchen.
again, the kitchen area is very, very small. But I'm not very good on cooking, so
I mean, at least you can make what, coffee. You do.
Yeah, well, I'm
You have
I'm a coffee
fridge?
I have a fridge that I don't operate, although it does work. It works on gas and on electricity.
But wait,
Um,
you using the like how make you making coffee? Like how do you?
That's
do
with the
it?
gas.
With the gas. Okay. Yeah, let's switch.
I'll switch here. So I've got a 2-burner here on gas. Boom. So you could cook.
Okay.
If you cooked, you could. But I just make coffee then, I think. And then on the other side, I have the sink, which at the moment I don't use, of
You're not
course,
using.
because you know. And the fridge is a whole story. It's of course in the old days. I mean, they're still working. These 3-way fridges basically. You use the gas. When you're standing still, you can use the electricity when you're on a campsite, like the 220 volt. And then when you're driving, you can also operate it on 12 volt. This is the original still. It works on gas, it doesn't work on 12 volt, and if I'm at a campsite, it does work on 220. The only thing is, I don't use it because I go to the shop every day and buy fresh things anyway, and I think it's a waste of gas to
Yeah.
just have it
So
operate
you
all
turn
the
it
time.
off in general.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, okay.
just off, basically.
Got it.
You know,
Okay.
but
whatever.
yeah, these things are they're very small, you know. So it's not that you can store a lot of things,
But,
but
how
you
normally
can.
they lock it? They have magnets or not? No. I
No,
think
it's like a little click system.
clicks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 35 years old. I don't think it works. Nothing in this van. You know, my Ford Transit, everything was magnetic. You could just like hang them.
Yeah.
Here, everything is wood or
Yeah.
aluminium. Nothing sticks
Okay.
on magnets. So no.
What do we have here? So,
So
it's like
this is the. I'm not, I dread to think I can't really open this. I can open it. So this is basically my bathroom, which I never use. Which sounds dirty, doesn't it? But I still am used to living in a small van where I use the gym to go to have a shower and all that. I don't like, you know, I don't have water, but you know. So I use this as a storage space. So it's a storage space.
storage
now.
space.
So I'll open it.
Shower
You can see yeah. So there's like a sink in there as well, a bigger mirror and all that. I usually as a storage space because I've got more solar panels which I put in there. When it's sun, I can you know pick them out. And I have a small compressor fridge in there as well, so that if I really do want, you know, something fresh or keep something fresh, I can use solar power, not 220 volt, but solar panel, sorry, solar power to keep the little fridge going. So that's there. So you can film it, but it's like a storage area. Like I said, it is a very pretty. It's got potential. Let's put it that way.
yeah, it looks. It looks.
Once I sort out the mess. But there you go. So you see storage for the solar panel, and then a little fridge there.
Looks nice. by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. It's. I've had it now for it. My old timer doesn't have a name because in the van community people always give their vans a name, but mine doesn't have a name. So it's like the old timer. The old timer. I've had it now for 7 months, so I have been a bit lazy in doing stuff, mainly also because of budget reasons. I don't have much money to just like keep on changing and all that kind of thing, or like tidying up or whatever. But for me as a solo traveler at the moment, this works for me. You know, everything is there.
What is there?
This is a story. Yeah, you can that you can't see, because, but I can't open the door fully. But it's just like you know, you
Okay,
can
just
hang your
like
clothes here,
stuff.
and this is where the bigger. Pull it out. This is
Using
where
as
the bigger one is. You know, this is the one I want with the bigger solar panel on there. So
Yeah,
that
but
I've
you
got,
need to
like,
find out how to charge it as well. Yeah.
Well,
so
I've got the solar panel behind you.
How long does it take to charge fully?
Well, that's a 200 watt solar panel, so that should, in a day, I should be full.
yeah,
Yes.
5 hours, like
Yeah. Well, more. Well,
because you need to stay here
Well,
in this case.
if the solar panel is flat, of course, and the sun is not directly hitting it, then you know it'll be more than 2 days. But
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. That's why it's not
yeah,
that
but
easy.
usually you don't really run it down to zero.
Yeah.
You know, it should be. You know, I don't really use that much solar.
And this one is
Well, the
Webasto or something like.
heating,
Heating.
heating, which is which is very important if you drive through France in the middle of winter. You need heating, which is beautiful. It's on gas again, the same gas tank that I use to cook and operate the fridge, and it does work. I mean, that's all I can say really. It's an old Truma. They still make them, but they're probably like in model 305, and this is model 3 or something like that. It's a very old one, but it still works, and it gives me heat in the winter, and it's 35 years old, and 35 years ago they were not really very interested in insulating correctly, I think, because the problem with this van is when it's hot, it'll go very hot inside, but when it's cold, it'll be very cold inside. So insulation, and with all the windows and all that, it's zero basically. So when it's cold, you really need to heat, and the heat will just drop down the floor. But yeah, it still heats nicely, and it's got like these vents as well, as you can see underneath it. So even the heat you can distribute throughout the whole van, not just through this little thing here. There's like vents over there.
How about electricity? I see that you have some sockets on there, like, but it's not working, no?
So I keep on being amazed that this is 35 years old, and it's got a lot of stuff that we are still using today. So this van still has like the engine battery to start up the engine, but it also has a leisure battery. So it also has a leisure battery that you charge while driving. So 35 years ago, they were already thinking about that. So you have electricity, you have these two lamps here, bang, and here, which don't work, but that's because I haven't changed the bulb yet, and I don't particularly find these tube lights very nice at night, so I don't operate them anyway. So I want to change them maybe into.
But they were installed like 30 years.
Yeah. And then,
but wait, they take the power from where?
From the leisure battery.
From another battery.
Yeah.
But
from
how
the
is
second battery. Yeah.
Second battery. How is it like? You change it or like?
The previous owner. No, I changed it actually. Yes, but when I bought the van, it's not an anecdote, but so I bought the van, and then like 3 weeks later or whatever, I picked up the van, and the lady that sold it said like, "Oh, we have a problem." I was like, "Oh no, I just paid you the money, and now you tell me there's a problem." And she went like, "Oh yeah, the leisure battery has gone down, and it's now flat. It's just on zero, and even if you charge it, it's broken now." So I put a new one, but it's like 100 amp, so it's not that
100
big.
amps. Yeah, it's not much.
No, but it's just to operate like the light in the kitchen, for instance. Wait a minute, I have to. You probably can't see that one, but that works. So if I want to cook, this works.
And normally it's charging since you're driving, right?
Yes, only when you drive. So it's not solar or anything. It's just like when you drive. But there is only
You plan to install the solar panels.
Yeah, but then that won't connect to the leisure battery. It will connect to this battery. The solar.
You won't connect to this battery.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just want to install, make a hole somewhere, and just.
Well, the hole is already there. Remember, 35 years old. It used to have a little antenna or like a satellite dish on top of the roof, and the previous owner have taken it off. But the hole is still there for the satellite
so you want to make it
cable
over there.
So yeah. So and anyway, the only place that the solar panel, which is big behind you, it will only fit here, and the satellite cable is
and
there.
You have hole there, yeah.
Yeah. So that's already there. So and it's covered so that the rain can't. It's all there. I just need a day without wind in Spain.
And install it. Yeah, you can install by yourself in this case. Yeah.
Say it again.
I think you can install this one by yourself, like because if it's just this one, you don't need so much.
No. I've got all the. I'm doing it like. Some American YouTubers have like whole tutorial how to, because it's a flexible one. It's not even a hardcore one. It's a flexible one, so they're very thin, and with some double-sided tape and some extra, I don't know what it's called, roofing tape. Basically, you can tape it to the ceiling, and then it'll stick.
Okay. In general, you just need electricity. What do you need else, like to to be kind of independent fully?
To be honest, that's all
That's
you
it.
need, really.
That's
I
it.
mean, yeah, the water would be fine, but like I said, I buy my bottles, and you know,
Yeah, but you can
just for coffee and all that. Yeah.
wash hands
Yeah,
there as well.
yeah.
But you're not using it much,
Well,
right?
I do that outside
You do outside
or
and
in the gym, like I said. I mean,
yeah, because normally you need to like somehow you need to remove this like black water as well somewhere.
Oh
Is
yes,
the problem.
yeah. At the moment, I don't even have black or grey water. So
Okay.
there is a tank, of course, underneath, but yeah.
But you have as well here.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
But you're not using it.
I've got a fully operational one. It's just I decided
You're
not
not
to
using
use it, half of it, because yeah, then all of a sudden you have to think about like, oh, where can I dump my grey water? Where can I dump my black water? And the way I live now at the moment is like I don't have to dump anything. Because,
Do you know like technical parts here? Like what is engine? No,
Ooh,
horsepower, something like.
Good.
How many
good
liters?
question.
How many liters per 100 kilometers you like spend? You don't know?
Oh no, I'm definitely over, what is it, 10 liter per 100 kilometers? That's over
liters.
it, yes. It's a okay, so this is a 5-gear
Yeah.
turbo diesel Fiat Ducato. I bought it at 16,000, and you think like, okay, you've got a bargain, but then after like 2 months, the 5th gear broke, and so the 5th gear broke, so I had to repair that, and that cost me 1,500. So that was kind of expensive, but once you're in 5th gear on the motorway, you cruise like really smoothly, and you can go to 100, 110, no problems. But then, of course,
Yeah. So around 90 kilometers, it will eat maybe like around 10.
it's
liters.
around 10 then. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Unfortunately, you know, the great thing about the old ones is that they don't have any electronics. It's just like
you can fix it like
so you cannot see anything. You cannot see how much you are using. I can't even see my RPM. I just have to guess like, oh yeah, I hear now it's time to, you know.
Okay.
Because otherwise you don't see anything in the display. So, but okay, so it is I think it's a 95 horsepower.
Okay.
It's not the 72, because usually these Hymers and the Fiats and the Citroën are on a 70 horsepower, and this is a 92 one because of the diesel.
Yeah.
So it's a bit stronger.
Let me show you a little bit here.
But as you can see, there's not a lot of buttons and there's not a lot of information. Oh, sorry, you want me to take that away? Because maybe you can see it a bit better that way.
I like the old style, you know.
Well, it's very
Bicycle.
basic information. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. A lot of
There's not a lot of information.
windows, nice seats. It's in a good condition.
Oh yeah, sorry. The front of the cabin, of course, is also a dumping ground for like everything that you don't use, you just dump it there because then it's out of the way.
It's normal.
Yeah,
for those who live in like this kind of lifestyle, they understand. If you're especially not driving like every day, you know. This is vintage as well. So you happy or not compared to?
The weird thing is, am I happy? Oh, I have to show you the bed because people will probably say. I usually sleep because I'm alone. I can sleep on the single bed.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
it's not much space. No?
No, I know, but it is my bed from the old van, so I'm so used to it, and the mattress is still, it's totally shaped to my body now. But so you pull this one down, and then you have like it can go down a bit further if you.
And how is the size? What is the size over here?
Oh, that's a 160 for 2 meters.
160 for 2 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like master.
It's a double bed. So yeah. I barely use it because when I do, then that means that you have to then close all the. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You have to close all these curtains, and it's so much work, and I'll just crash here straight away. Like curtains, close the curtains.
And this one you can use as well, or not? Or
well, this is also made to make another double bed.
But
so
it's kind of short, no? Even for.
Oh,
us.
no. But to be honest, they even have these things that you pull out, and then you can make this like a huge.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
This is.
I got it.
As a
you
solo traveler, I don't really need any of that.
Yeah.
So, what was your question before? Oh,
what do you like?
Regrets or not regrets?
What do you like in previous compared to this one?
Yeah, that's like the thing. Okay, so in my previous van was a white Ford Transit. You couldn't see from the outside that it really was a van or like a camper van. So that was easy to park anywhere in town. Here with this one, the minute you arrive, it's like, yeah, people know you're coming there to sleep or to live or whatever, and not everybody likes that. So I've already been kicked out at some supermarket parking lots where I thought like, oh, I can crash the night here, which I did with my Ford Transit, and now security will knock on your door and so say like, no, you cannot sleep here. It's like because it's so obvious. And I don't want to go to campsites. I don't want to go to campsites. It's not my thing. I want to live in cities or like villages or whatever. So now it's more difficult to find places where you can just stand.
Yeah, before
and
was
people
much
leave you
more.
alone. Yeah.
I see like even somebody posting like, yeah, the place is some completely like shut down right now for caravans.
Yeah.
Or
And also the Ford Transit was like 2 meter high.
Yeah.
So there are these barriers just 2 meters. So again, I could go in there. With this one, it's 270. I can go in. I can't go anywhere. I'm not anywhere, but I can't go with these height restrictions. So you're stuck.
Okay.
So that is like one thing that I regret.
Yep.
The previous one, also because I built it myself, it's kind of has more of a home feel to it because I made everything myself. So I don't have that with this. This was already there. So in that respect, the older one has got this little feeling. It has I don't know if you know the TARDIS in Doctor Who. So it looks small in the inside, on the outside, but when you walk in, it's big. And that Ford Transit.
We have previous videos, so you can see like it's quite huge.
Yeah, have a look. Yeah, but for me, although it was smaller, it still felt very home, and I had everything I needed. Now I feel like I've got everything I needed in abundance. Like I said, nine seating areas. I only, as a solo traveler, just need the one or two.
It's good from another side when you have so much space for one person from one side. It's not much, but it's like compared to previous van, it's huge.
Yes,
it's like a home, like a big.
It is
room.
now. It just feels like I call it my little hotel room on wheels. Because this is how it feels. It feels like a studio flat.
Exactly.
Sometimes I see people on YouTube in Paris or whatever, and they live in a small apartment, and you think like, my van is as big as their apartment, and I can take it everywhere, nearly everywhere. So that like the parking thing.
But
to be honest, because I'm still not used to driving a 36-year-old engine, I am on the road always like, oh, what is that sound? Because it does make a lot of noise, and it's like, are these healthy noises? Is this normal? And I have nobody to ask that question. With a car, like, okay, that's what a car sounds like, But with this, sometimes it's like, is that normal? Or, So I'm always on the road. When I drive, I'm always on the road like, oh, is this normal? And because there is no display, there's no, engine light or whatever that will blink to sort of say like, ooh, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. It's like, you always have to guess. Like, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? What should I do? So, yeah. So that is a bit tricky.
But for example, okay, right now with your full-time living in the van, which one you prefer? Like,
no, you see, I can't make up my mind. I'm sorry. I like also the driving of a Ford Transit, of course, that was built like 10 years ago. You drive smoothly on the motorway. You could drive like, I have done it, 6 hours in a row, and you're really far away. With this one, you can drive 2 hours, and then you have to take a break. The engine needs a break. In summer, this is going to be murder driving this place because it just heats up so much. Which, like a modern van, has got air conditioning, for instance. This one has nothing, like even the little dial to put air in it, it just, the hot air from outside just comes inside. So it's the modern luxury.
For full-time living, still this one is
maybe
maybe
for full-time living, because like last week I had a bit of a cold, so I felt like not great to go outside. Well, then this is home. You can just relax. Make your tea, watch a bit of TV, and be sick, and just feel safe in your place. Which in a smaller van is going to be difficult because you just feel the walls coming towards you. But yeah, I'm like I said, I know both, and I still don't know because also life is getting more difficult for these old diesel engines. Especially, like I say, I like traveling to cities, and a lot of
It's hard,
cities
it's
now,
hard.
France, Spain, they're all saying no, keep those diesels out.
Yeah.
I'm flying under a German flag, as I call it, so I've got a German number plate, and this is registered as a historical vehicle, which means in Germany I'm exempt of all these diesel regulations. So I can drive into Berlin, no questions asked, I've got my historical vehicle plaque. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for France or Spain like that. They don't have that regulation. Maybe they have that regulation for their people, but not for foreigners.
The battery is done. The last question, which I
Last
have.
question, yes.
What kind of advice would you give for those who want to travel and try this kind of lifestyle?
You've asked me that question
Yeah?
3 years
Maybe
ago.
maybe
and
you changed.
the advice is still going to be the same. Well, isn't it going to be the same? I don't know. It's always something you have to try and do it. I did that as well before I even bought the Ford Transit. I rented a camper van, and nowadays, because of the internet and all that, it's so easy to rent a camper van. Even like old ones, you can even rent a vintage one, and then just try it out for a week or 2 weeks, or a month, and then see if you like it, and then you can go down the like, oh, let's invest in one or let's buy one. But yeah, just try before you buy. Basically, that's the advice I would give.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
do
you so
it.
much.
Just do it. Oh yes, I have my
Check
own
it out.
channel.
Check it out, yeah.